In this video, we're going to talk about what the NCRQ Diploma looks like, what the other qualifications are, how much it costs, and everything you need to know if you're thinking about going down the NCRQ route for your diploma. Let's get into the video.
The problem in safety isn't deviation, it's complexity.
Health and safety has gone mad.
Health and safety is trying to unpick having gone mad in the past.
There's no one solution and one problem. The problem is that we are looking for one solution.
Does the structure of the team allow them to flourish?
Feel safe enough to be uncomfortable.
The environment defines our behaviours.
People aren't the problem, they're the solution.
Rebranding safety, crushing the stereotype. Brought to you by Risk Fluent. Okay guys, welcome back to Rebranding Safety. You probably know this already, but Rebranding Safety is the health and safety podcast and YouTube channel doing exactly what it says on the tin. We're here to challenge the perception, to challenge those health and safety gone mad practices. We do that through providing free content on YouTube and on the podcast, how-to videos and in-depth conversations. So make sure you go check out the podcast. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss another episode. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a shameless sponsorship clip. In all seriousness, guys, we partnered up with DRM Group. You know David McLean's been on the podcast time and time again. We absolutely support his message, and he's got a brand new online course to help you. I'm going to let him tell you all about it now.
The brain can be trained to think and behave differently, to think in more positive and optimistic ways. And there are steps that you can take to train your brain to feel good for good. And we call this lasting positive change. Through our 16-day program, which includes daily videos and action sheets, taking you no longer than 15 minutes to complete a day, you will learn how to move away from thoughts of anger, hopelessness and frustration to a place of mental well-being and positivity.
Okay guys, so if you're interested, you can click the link below and get a discount, special rebranding safety discount. Full disclosure, we get a little bit kickback from that. So at the same time as improving your mental health, you can support your favorite health and safety podcast and YouTube channel. I'll let you get back into the content. My name's James MacPherson. You can contact me on all the social medias that will come in onto your screen right now. In this episode, we're going to talk about NCRQ Diploma, what it looks like, what it is, how much it costs, etc, etc. So let's get into this video. Okay, so let's first kind of start with a brief overview of what NCRQ is, or a bit of an introduction. So for a long time, health and safety professionals, leaders, managers, anyone really trying to get an insight into safety or kind of their foot in the door in safety or kind of upskill themselves to manage their own systems went to NEBOSH. NEBOSH were the kind of monopoly in the market for a long time. There was MVQs and things like that, but NEBOSH was the one everybody wanted. So a couple of years ago, NCRQ started popping onto the scene and have since absolutely shot forward, primarily because of their different style and their manner in which they teach their qualifications. In a way, it's very similar to the setup of NEBOSH. You've got the certificate level, which is your foot in the door kind of qualification, spot on for kind of managers that want to upskill themselves in how to manage health and safety, for business owners, for leaders, things like that, really kind of give them an insight into health and safety, and they want a qualification. This is the first one you should probably be looking at, whether it's NEBOSH or NCRQ. It would also work well as a first qualification or a beginning qualification for new safety professionals as well. That's going to set you back £625 plus VAT, and that's going to get you a Tech IOSH membership level. The confusing thing is, which I still don't know the answer to, so if you do know the answer, please comment below, that this is called a level 6 certificate, which level 6, as far as I'm aware, is diploma level, so that's degree level education. But this matches the level 3, which is A level, with the NEBOSH. So a bit confusing now on the levels 6 and 3, but yet they're the same. I don't understand that. If you do, please comment below and help us all out. They also have the AIM Awards level 6 certificate in personal injury liability. Again, that's going to set you back about £625 plus VAT. But what we're here to talk about is the diploma. So this is your level 6 diploma. This is going to set you back about £1,700 plus VAT. So those are all the prices that are on right now on the NCRQ website, which we'll link below in the description. So what does this diploma look like? It's basically 3 books. You're going to go online. Well, I'll tell you how I did it. I got a credit card, I went online, I ordered NCRQ, I paid for it, a couple of days later my books turned up, and that's it. That is pretty much it. The process of getting on this course and starting is unbelievably easy. You can literally just go online, pay your bills, it comes to you in a day, and you've got your books, and that's it. You're online, and that's it, you're off. Okay, the 3 books look like this. 1, 2, and 3. They're big books. Book 1 is about 233 pages. The last couple of pages are more like next steps. Book number 2 is 315, and then book number 3 is 306 pages. So it gives you a bit of an insight how big these are. Each section in the book, so each new chapter has an advised numbers of online activities, how long that would take in hours basically, and the book reading and stuff like that. So I've added those all together for you. To make sure I get it right, I'm going to get my piece of paper. Book number 1 is 56.3 hours, and that's 4 assignments. So you're going to read through the chapter, it's going to get you to do some research, going to get you to go on to their website, and I'll tell you what their website looks like in a minute. And do loads of things, and then throughout that you're going to get assignments as you go through the book. So there's 4 assignments in that book. The second book is 169.2 hours, and that's built up with 5 assignments. Same again, work through the book, read, go online, research, whatever it asks you to do, you'll get to a point where it will prompt you to request your assignment. That's it. The last book is 121 hours, and that just has 1 assignment. Now you're thinking, wow, 1 assignment. However, there are some online little mini tests as you go through, and there are online processes and stuff and bits and bobs that you have to read, and you can't request the assignment until you've done those. So you have to do those, but they're not like an assignment, it's just a mini test, and they're not too bad either. However, the final assignment, trust me, is huge. My only word of advice, start as soon as you get it, and probably works for all of the assignments if I'm honest. Read through the brief, start as soon as you get it, highlight the key points, and allocate time in your diary. Worst thing to do, leave it to the last minute, give yourself a week off or whatever, and then do it in the last week. With the last assignment, you're going to get 6 weeks. With all the others, it's like 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the size of the assignment. But the last one, you're most definitely going to need all 6 weeks. So what are they about? So the first one is the principles of health and safety. This is the basics. If you're already a safety professional, you've done your NCRQ certificate maybe, like I did, and then you're coming on to do your diploma, this book is going to be a little bit suck eggs. However, once you swallow that egg and get over your pride and stuff like that, like I had to, I actually quite enjoyed it. So this was good. Go over the basics again, and test your knowledge and just reiterate what you think you know. It's a good exercise. Book number 2 is Personal Injury and Liability and Absence Reduction. This is mostly about civil law. I actually really enjoyed this book. Now I know a lot of people are not a fan of this one, but I actually really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong though, there are some bits in it that are really heavy. There's a lot of case study reading, there's a lot of legal reading that's heavy and hard. This is a big, challenging book for anyone, I think. However, it is really enjoyable, and it really does open your eyes, I think, to civil law, and where maybe in my experience with like your NCRQ certificate and some of the other courses, now I've not done a NCRQ diploma, so feel free to comment below on what you thought of that. But I really like what they did here. I feel like the certificate, to get to my point, I feel like the certificate kind of breezed over civil law, and I think this really opens your eyes to it, so it's a great book. And then we finish with Further Workplace Hazards. This book really breaks down those higher risk processes and some of the more common stuff like pure manufacturing, but gets in deep with agriculture, confined spaces, electrical, fire safety. And what's good about it is you'll find that some bits you breeze through. So I've worked heavily on fire for the last couple of years, so I breezed through the fire stuff because I've been doing it every day. But the cost stuff, chemicals, as you know if you're listening to this podcast or YouTube channel, I touch on very little bits and normally with very low levels, very low risk. So I really struggled with the cost side, but it was really good to upskill my knowledge. So a very good book and a very challenging book and a very challenging assignment at the end. So 3 books, you work your way through them and you go on the website. The website looks nice. It's user friendly. Once you get on there, you log in, you feel comfortable, if I'm honest. There's not really any way you can go wrong. There'll be 3 big tiles across the screen, you can see them now. And that's HSD1, which is book 1, 2, which is book 2, and 3, which is book 3. You click on those and you've got all your online activities and your assignments. Also within each section, there is a forum which you can go on and talk to other students and see what other students are asking, have discussions, ask questions. And I found that really helpful. I probably didn't use it enough, but there were a couple of times I did, had some really good answers back, some really helpful answers. And sometimes it's just nice to go through and read what other people are saying. Maybe it's another way of looking at something. So a very good website, very helpful. One thing that I struggled to get my head around with NCRQ was the grading system. Basically, when you do your first assignment, you'll get it back and it will say pass, and you'll be like, oh, I only passed it. Not true. If you carry on reading and click on the more comments, you'll see the instructors or the invigilators' comments on there, markers' comments. And basically it will say in there that they've given you an indicative grade. Now basically that will give you a pass, merit or distinction. So you pass or fail your assignment, but you get an indicative grade of pass, merit or distinction. And then basically throughout that book, throughout that unit, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Assignment 1, Assignment 2, etc. All those indicative grades create an average for that unit. And then you pass or fail that unit and you get an indicative grade of that unit. Then you get an indicative grade of the overall qualification. So once you've done all the assignments, you pass that or fail that assignment at a level of pass, merit or distinction. So your certificate will say HSD1 pass, merit or distinction. And that's based on the average of your indicative grades of your assignments. With me? Good. Once you've done unit 1, 2 and 3, you've done all of that, the grades of each unit, so if you've got distinction, 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 will create, based on an average, your overall grade. What did I think of NCRQ Diploma? Overall, I liked it. The overall style, case study way of learning suited my learning method. It suited how I think it worked for me. The manner in which you do it, the books and the online course, it really fit around my lifestyle. To be able to assign myself days, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do NCRQ work, for example. But shit, I'm going out for dinner on Friday, I drop it on Friday, do it on Wednesday. Or I can't be bothered on Friday, drop it on Friday, did 2 hours on Monday or whatever. It's so flexible, it's just you assign your time. But my one trick is assign time. It can take a long time if you just, pick and choose when. I did that towards the tail end. I started deviating from my schedule and it took me a long time and I really slowed down and I was getting behind essentially. So set yourself a schedule and stick to it, but it's extremely flexible. With that means you have to be self-motivated. That's a challenge in its own right sometimes, but once you get self-motivated or even just force yourself to do it, you're gonna make some serious progress. Like I said earlier, I felt like the first book was a little bit suck eggs. It would be nice to see them have a bit of a solution for people that have done the NEBOSH certificate. It felt a bit like they don't see the NEBOSH certificate as good enough, therefore they have to do it their way. That's what it felt like. And as you read through the book, they do have a couple of, in my opinion, a couple of unprofessional digs at NEBOSH, which I was a little bit disappointed by. They have overtook them in the market. It is a different style, but I didn't agree with their kind of digs in a qualification material against NEBOSH. I caveat that by saying, once I got over my pride and got my head stuck into it, I did actually enjoy going over the basics again. So swings and roundabouts, really. So overall, I enjoyed the course, I enjoyed the manner, I enjoyed the case study based process. There are some really long, nasty bits, particularly in like the last, I believe it's the last unit, they get you to read like this 400-page slide pack of, it's like biological stuff, if I remember rightly. It was mind-numbingly intense. And I did feel like sometimes some of the stuff was a little bit too in-depth, but that's just my opinion of overall safety qualifications, if I'm honest. But overall, a very, very good qualification. However, there is one final point. There are some inept professionals out there that have this crazy delusional idea that if you are an NCRQ qualified professional, you are not as good as a NEBOSH qualified professional. And it's quite obvious through the book that NCRQ think that they are better than NEBOSH. In my opinion, they suit people's individual styles, and what makes you a good professional is you. So do not listen to the people that think that NCRQ is better or worse, or NEBOSH is better or worse. Pick the one that suits you. There is also an MVQ method you can go for as well, which I'm informed or believed to be much more work-based. So I feel like there are 3 good solutions for 3 different learning styles. So much more academic-based system based on tests and exams, a much more case-based system based on assignments and coursework, and then a much more work-based kind of apprenticeship style from what I've been told in the MVQ. Pick the one that works for you. And one final point is, remember, this is just a qualification. Whether you're employing somebody or whether you're thinking about what to go for, this is just a certificate. This is just somebody reading books, doing online processes and learning stuff through an academic process. Yes, it helps. Yes, it shows you a certain level of competence, but the real skills come from engagement, people skills, getting stuck in, going down and working with your workers, building relationships. In summary, a nice qualification, some faults, but nowhere near proportionate to the qualities of this qualification. I enjoyed it. Financially, I thought it was okay, but to be honest, it's not much cheaper or more expensive than the others. When I brought it, I believe, if I remember right, it was a little bit more expensive than what it is now, but it's getting more and more popular, so it wouldn't surprise me if the price is going up. It has already, from what I've had, conversations I've had on LinkedIn, some people have said they had it much cheaper than what it is now. So if you're thinking about it, get on it now, because it's getting really, really popular. Everybody is talking about it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of it. Let me know in the comments below if you've decided to go with NCRQ, or if you've decided to go with the others and why. It would help me, and it would also help anyone else watching this video. So comment below what diploma you decided to go with, or even if it's a certificate you're looking for, what one did you go with? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit like. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss another episode. Go check out our podcast as well. We'll drop the links in the description below for all of the platforms, or all of the top 3 platforms anyway. If you like this video, try and think of 3 people that will benefit from it and share it with them. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Safe.